A chat room, and one of the recipes that I submitted was deemed unhealthy by a healthcare professional because it had erythritol in it. But the same healthcare professional also admitted that she did not know a whole lot about erythritol in the first place. It made me really, really angry that somebody who's a healthcare professional would not do the dig work before she would recommend or not recommend something. So we're going to talk a little bit more about erythritol. It's becoming a really hot, sexy sweetener. You know, it was agave at one point, starting to cool off. Erythritol starting to be really big right now. Got a lot of people who are putting in a lot of money, a lot of manufacturers putting in a lot of time and ads and stuff to get you to go buy their specific product. What is erythritol? It is a sugar alcohol. You may have heard of some other ones like xylitol, mannitol, maltitol, and there's a couple other tols out there. And erythritol is popular for a couple of reasons. One, it's 0 on the glycemic scale. The other sugar alcohols are not at the 0 scale, especially maltitol. That one is, the glycemic number for that one is just as high as table sugar. I don't understand why it's recommended for diabetics, but you know, whatever, and that's how that is. So we got a 0 on the glycemic scale. Erythritol also doesn't cause any of the gastric distresses that some of the other ones do. You don't get gas, you don't get bloating, as long as you keep it in manageable levels, whatever that means for you. And also, erythritol does not cause tooth decay, doesn't feed bacteria. So we got a lot of people who are wondering, is this good for me if I'm on a anti-candida diet? So we're going to get into that. Why is it called a sugar alcohol? It's not, of course it's not a sugar, of course it's not an alcohol, but the structure, the scientific structure is why it's called an alcohol. You can look at it. I have a little link over there that you can check out the structure for yourself if you really want to see what that's all about. How is erythritol made? Well, you have to have a sweet substance. Most of the time, that substance is corn. And I can understand why some people don't want to use it because it is a corn-based product sometimes. And it's fermented, and then after that fermentation process, the liquid that has fermented is crystallized, and then it's sold. Then sometimes people with corn sensitivities cannot handle that, especially some people with candida. And the other part of that is sometimes corn is not GMO, and some people don't want to use GMO products. Totally understandable. I am a baker, and I've been baking with sugar-free substitutes for a while, and I know that some of those substitutes don't cut it when it comes to baking. Some of them are too watery, some of them are too strong. It's just not the same. So you have to redo all your recipes in order to get something similar to what you had before you used sugar, or when you use sugar. And erythritol helps you to get back some of that structure, some of that bulk that you had in your original recipes before you had to go sugar-free. So that's why it's, you know, it's a good thing to use. You know, sometimes you want to get something that's close to what you had before. It's a comfort issue. And when you change your diet so drastically and you're doing all these new things, sometimes things just, they don't feel familiar. They don't feel good. You feel like you feel lost out there. You want to make something that you are comfortable eating again. That's what erythritol is for. One is one from Wholesome Sweeteners called Organic Zero. This is the real thing. Pure erythritol, and guess what? It is not corn-based. It's sugarcane-based, and it's organic. So all those people who have corn sensitivities, all those people who say it's not GMO, man, this cuts all of that out. So you don't have a reason for that anymore. You can use this. Backside, or what do you say, the downside. The downside of this is that it's very expensive, and it can be hard to find. WholesomeSweeteners.com, go to their website, and they tell you where their products are located. I've been finding it at my Whole Foods, and I've been finding it at some really good grocery stores in their baking area. Go over there first. Sometimes you'll find it in just the packets. That's what I have with me today. They also sell pouches. But if you are not as sensitive to corn, and if GMO products don't bother you, there is a cheaper alternative. Now Foods does also make a pure erythritol. I've only been able to find that online. There are very few grocery stores or very few health food stores that will sell the pure erythritol. What's out there on the shelves is erythritol that's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. You've got erythritol that's not combined with stevia. Let's get it right. Stevia is not approved to be sold in food. Stevia is approved as an additive. So when people say that it's combined, the erythritol is combined with stevia, they're not actually telling you the actual truth. They have combined erythritol with a stevia extract. That's totally different. That's the only reason that they can sell it to you. And it's called Reb-A or Rebiana. It's not the same thing. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be close to chemical. So let's be real about that. The other thing is, stevia is very bitter. And the things that they put into their products, you've got natural flavors. Natural flavors is a cloak word. It's the cover-up word. What they're basically saying is we've added some chemicals to mask the taste, to mask certain things about erythritol and stevia so that you don't have to taste all of that. Natural flavors is their way of saying the FDA said that we didn't have to tell you what these natural flavors are, so don't worry about it. We'll just tell you they're natural flavors, and you don't need to find out what that is. There's a problem with that. If you're going to hide what the ingredients are from me, I'm going to hide my money from you. If you can't tell me what it is that you put in there, I don't want to have anything to do with it. That's why I don't recommend some of the other products. The problem is these other products are widely available, and it's very hard to find pure erythritol. So you're probably going to have to go online, go on a massive hunt, see if you can find the pure ones. And if you can't find them, if you're at a health food store or at a regular grocery store, ask them, look, can you order this so we can have this here? Because I really don't want to put my money with some companies who decided that they didn't want to explain some of these ingredients to me. So let's talk about that. Why would someone want to put some additives in erythritol in the first place? What's the point? Look, erythritol has a cooling effect. If you've been using it in your baking, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The cooling effect is twofold. Cooling effect has a taste, and it also is an effect in itself. Literally, when you take the baked goods out of the oven, when it cools, it becomes hard and crystallized, almost like a hockey puck, almost inedible. And the only way to get that out of there is to reheat it. When you reheat it, though, your baked goods get drier and drier. And then it's no longer how it was when you first baked it. The chemicals that are put in erythritol and some of the more widely available products, they only mask the cooling effect taste. They don't mask the effect itself. So it's only one-fold that they're doing. And then they're just making it more and more chemicalized, which I think is a mistake. And I think it's an even bigger mistake for you to ingest that. So if you're going to use erythritol, there are things that you need to do in order to treat it like a baking product. So because what you're trying to do is combat the cooling effect. And there are three ways to do that. One is to cream it in fat. So you're going to cream it in oil or butter or shortening. And that works great while the baked good is warm. But when it gets cool, you can just kill that idea because it's already hard, it's unedible, and it's just so not fun. The next thing, what you're going to do is combine it with something that has more of a heating effect, or it's called a gyroscopic, which means that it attracts water. One of the things that does that is vegetable glycerin. So you can combine erythritol with vegetable glycerin, but if you're baking, that means that you've just increased the water content of your baked goods. So you're going to have to do some more fooling around with the ingredients in order to get it to some kind of structure that is not going to fall apart on you. The best way to deal with erythritol is to go ahead and powder it and then combine it with inulin. It's dry. It's